another episode of Maxwell Starr's Beer Review. Gonna take a look at a beer from Brasseurs RJ, donated to this channel by Heist Almighty. Gonna take a look at Canon Doppelbock, coming in at a whopping 7.6% ABV. It says, discover Canon, a great Doppelbock type lager brewed from a blend of 4 different malts and hops, followed by a lengthy cold aging. Now, it's a lager style beer, a dark one, that's brewed to an extra strong strength, hence the type of Bock beer. This one originates in Montreal, Quebec, so it's not exactly a German style beer. Not only that, but a lot of the beers from Brasseurs RJ are more Belgian styles. So it's interesting to try this one. I've had a couple other Doppelbock or similar style Bock style beers. So why don't we crack this the top off of this one and see what it looks like. It's got a plain black cap, but it has a nice black foil appearance, and it's spilling over the sides and all over my floor. So I gotta say, it's got a lot of carbonation and a bit of a smell. Good smell. And a bit of a mess. Alright, I'll be right back. And I'm back after cleaning up the mess on the floor. So, Canon Doppelbock poured out with about a finger head, maybe a little bit more. But it quickly died off, and now I'm actually seeing the surface of the beer itself. There's a nice little foam ring around the edges, but I can actually see a bit of the beer itself coming through the top. Now, looking at that, it's kind of got a deep amber, almost purple appearance. It's not quite purple as so much as it's brown, kind of pruny, dark. It's still see-through, it's still opaque, but it's a very, very, very dark looking beer. Well, okay, maybe not very, very, but color-wise, she looks an awful like an Aventinus or something. Maybe not quite as dark as that. Let's give it a sniff. Smells really good though. It's got some nice plum and prune, a lot of prune and raisin smells off of that. Maybe a bit of a clove. That smells good. Very inviting. It's got this little bit of fruity, maybe a little hint of like an apple, but not quite like the red apple smell. More like a maybe not so much apple, but it's more like a prune or a grape or raisin. Maybe a hint of like a Macintosh apple. Not quite a really sweet apple. Maybe a hint of caramel. Toffee. Decently complex for when I wasn't really expecting much. It's not bad at all. It's slightly hazy, so it's not completely clear. But you kind of expect a lager or a Bock style to be somewhat clear, actually. It really smells good. Any credits, Bob? Not really. Well, let's dig in. It's very sweet. Those raisin and plum and prune tastes are there. Those deep malt tastes. Lots of flavors of dark fruits. Maybe some clove spicing. It's kind of thin. Thin and a little watery. Getting almost like a little bit like a cocoa note. And it's got a decent amount of sweetness. It's not like an overpowering, cloyingly sweet taste, but it's got a nice, decent amount of sweetness, like that fades away after you drink the beer. Like it finishes off somewhat dry, leaving a little bit of a lingering bitterness of like an earthy or an herbal type of hop. Not quite grassy. Interesting. Yeah, I don't mind it. Alright, I'm going to sit down with this one for a bit. I'll be right back. And I'm back with Brasseurs RJ's Canon Doppelbock. So, what did I think about this one? It's not bad. It's not absolutely spectacular either. Really, when it comes to the world of the Doppelbock, it's kind of almost, I won't say bland because it's got quite a bit of flavor to it, but it's unspectacular in the way that it really doesn't do a whole lot more as the rest of the crowd. It's kind of, it comes up so far and doesn't try to excel. It's got some really nice flavors, some really nice complex flavors, and I do appreciate it for that, but it's kind of almost to the point where it's meh. One of the big things I really noticed about it is that the flavors of this one really are quite similar to some of the other RJ products, which were all Belgian styles, and it's almost like this particular beer was trying to be a Belgian style, but it's brewed in a German style way. It doesn't really do a whole lot to be completely different. I mean, the flavor profile in this beer is very similar to their Titanic. If that makes any sense at all. It's just, it really doesn't do a whole lot to differentiate itself from any other beer in their lineup, and it doesn't really do a whole lot to stand out from the crowd of other Doppelbocks out there. It's good beer, and I do recommend it in the sense that if you see it in the pack, like that multi-pack that they have with the whole lineup of different RJ beers, it's a good one to try. The whole pack as a whole is a good one to try, but it's not like a standout beer. It's not like Samachlaus or Aventinus or something. It really doesn't stand up on its two hind legs as its own and say, hey, I'm a fantastic beer. It's more along the lines of, you know, it's not swill by any means. It's more decent than that, but it's almost mediocre in its lack of mediocrity, if that makes any sense at all. And I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Anyway, I'm going to give this a 3 out of 5. You know what? Try it if you want to. It's probably a decent Doppelbock, but don't expect a world of great quality from it because it's mainly a mediocre Doppelbock. It's good, and I'll have no problem finishing this, but at the same time, it's not like it stands out. Anyway, thanks for watching Maxwell Starr's beer review. We'll talk to you guys later. Cheers.